What if I told you your next essay could be written automatically in just a couple of minutes using AI and a browser? So this right over here is a tool called Browser-Use, which is open source, and the GitHub link is in the description. All you're going to do is you're going to go to the GitHub link, follow all the steps to clone it into your own laptop or computer, and then you're going to download all of the things that are needed, such as the libraries that this code uses. Now, you don't need to be much of a programmer to understand all of this stuff, as it is rather simple, and I believe that anybody can do it. But I will have you know that you do need quite a strong PC or a laptop to be able to run this, because it is a lot of AI libraries and dependencies that it's using. Now, over here, just a quick look around, we have agent settings, browser settings, run agent, agent marketplace, and the load and save config. You only really need to worry about agent settings, browser settings, and run agent. Now, after you download it and download all the libraries alongside it, all you need to do is make sure you choose your OpenAI or whatever LLM you want to use. I'm using OpenAI, but if you are more of a better programmer, I would recommend that you actually download a local LLM and use that. So for example, over here, I believe they have Olama. Yes, it would be best if you use Olama, because that's local and it's a lot simpler to use than the OpenAI API. And here you just put in your API key and it already knows the base URL, so you're good from there. Now, all you have to do is also go to browser settings and make sure you check these 3 settings. You want to keep the browser open, because essentially what this does is after you submit the task, it's going to open a new browser, a new Chrome browser, and you need to make sure that it's ready to be able to use. Now all you have to do is click these 3 settings and then you're good to go, and make sure you are putting this in. Of course, if you follow the tutorial on the GitHub, which link in the description for the GitHub, then you'll see that you can also put in just the Chrome link, and how to get that is over here. You would go to Chrome version. Now this is what you need. You're going to take this and you're going to put it right there. That's all you need to do. Now, if you wanted to have all your login information and everything, like for example, if I'm logged into LinkedIn or if I'm logged into Google Docs and I want it to still have my login to Google Docs, that's great. That's what we need. So make sure that you're just keeping this over here and leave this empty. Browser user data dir, leave that empty so that it's going to use the default, which is your current browser that you use on a day-to-day basis. Now, when we head over to run agent, this is the most important part. What's really important about this is that this is where you put in the prompt, and this is where all the action happens. Now, the prompt is very important because this AI is essentially like, imagine if you're talking to OpenAI or ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can see your screen and it's as if you guys are like on a Zoom call together. So this is really important because you want to make sure that it is role-playing. Now this prompt that I'm using over here isn't the best prompt, but it gets the job done, because all I do is I tell it to go to my essay at this link and then wipe the entire document and write everything that I've given it. Now, there are 2 ends of the fork over here. So the thing is, my teachers, they use a tool called Draftback, which really lets you see what edits were made at what time, and it kind of makes like this sort of animation type of collage, this sort of montage, and when you click play, it just shows you what edits were made and how quickly they were made, how much time was in between each edit. And this agent, a really good use of this agent is to be able to have AI write your essays so that you don't have to write them yourself. Now the thing is, imagine if I want to bypass Draftback, I can't just copy and paste everything that ChatGPT has given me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it over here and simply have this agent type it for me. Now some important little nuggets of information that I used are, for example, this, but take a little break for 40 seconds each paragraph. This could be maybe like each sentence, take a little 10-second break. And then at the end, after all of this is through, it would be great if we could simply say studio code. Now what you're going to do is you're going to follow the steps to be able to run it. The last command that you need to do is this python web UI IP localhost 127.0.0.1. It's just localhost, and then you can choose whatever port you want as long as it's open. Now take this and put it into Edge. Now this is a big mistake that a lot of people do, is they put it into Chrome. Don't do that, put it into Edge. Now what we're going to do, the only things we need to change here really are simply this browser settings, which is going to be a little bit like this. We have to use our browser. Now since I have a bunch of Chrome Windows open right now. I'm going to put it on headless mode, and of course disable security. Now the thing is, for headless mode, you have to make sure that you have Chrome windows open, and you only tick on headless mode when you want it to not open up a new window. Because the thing is, it's going to give you an error if you have other windows open. As you can see, I have other windows open, which is why it doesn't work, which is why I'm going to put it in headless mode, but we can still see it in a certain way. Now, when it comes to running the agent, I'm going to copy and paste my entire prompt over here, and then it's going to come over here and just show me what that looks like. So I made it a public document so that it wouldn't need any login to get inside, but as long as you have the default user data directory, then it will get inside and you won't be prompted to log in or anything. So you can see this display is very bad, but this is exactly what it looks like. This is because we're using headless mode. If it was not with headless mode, then we would be actually opening the window ourselves. It would open up the window when we click run, and then it would show us what that looks like. Like you can see it looking through all the buttons and everything, and this is what it looks like over in the code. So you can see it's very well built. Like it divides the task up into steps, and then you can see that it sends these keys and things like that. So you can see it's already typing. Let's see it continue to type, because I want to make sure that you guys are really getting the full value out of this, and you guys know that this can be used. This is a very ugly look for it, but I promise it's not going to look like this when you do it yourself, as long as you are not doing headless mode. Now I'm doing headless mode because I currently have some Chrome windows open. Now what's going on? I need to pause a little bit. Okay, it just says first paragraph successfully written. Oh, I didn't change it to wait for 10 seconds. It's actually waiting for 40. Okay, that's okay. So I'll show it and we'll continue to just watch it work. So you can see after the 40 seconds are up, then it continues to go back, and that doesn't take up any more credits than it usually does. And you can see it's just simply typing all of it out. Now it looks really clean, really nice. And this is very useful if you have a lot of essays to write. Now, the thing is, you do have to get your own OpenAI API key or any other AI API key to be able to use this. Of course, we're working with models over here. So unless you are downloading onto your own PC a local LLM, you will have to use an OpenAI API key. So this is conditionally free. It's not free if you use an OpenAI key, but I promise you, the money that you put inside this OpenAI key goes a long, long way. I reloaded mine with $5 about 2 months ago, and it's still going strong. So you can see it wrote the second paragraph, and then it pauses. So this is exactly what it looks like. We'll let it write one more paragraph, but you guys can see how customizable this is right over here. For example, like in my prompt, I told it, go to my essay at this link. And of course, if you have your login and you have it on the right user directory, then you should be good. And it should be able to log in. You don't need, it should already be logged in, and you won't need to log in. It'll be just like using your normal Chrome browser. And you can see over here, I tell it to take a little break for 40 seconds each paragraph. Apparently, I didn't change it, which is my mistake, and that's why it's looking like this. But you can see it took its 40 seconds. You guys didn't catch that. But we'll wait another 40, and it'll write up the paragraph really nicely. And this is how I set it to do. This is what I told it to do, and it's executing perfectly based on what I told it to do. So now another 40 seconds, and it will continue writing the fourth paragraph. After the fourth paragraph, that'll be it for the demo. As you guys know, all the Notion site and everything, the link to the GitHub and the Notion site with my directions on how to install it onto your PC are in the description. Simply click on the link, follow the guide, download it. It is going to take quite a bit of space on your PC, but I promise you, as long as you think it's worth it, it will be worth it. So you can see 40 seconds are up. It's coming back to write some more onto our essay. Now, if you don't know much about how the AI API key and that type of stuff sort of works, it is rather cheap compared to what you think it probably is, because as I said before, I reloaded mine with $5, and it's been working for the past 2 months, so it's very cheap as long as you choose the right one. So there you guys have it. It's written the title and 4 paragraphs. Of course, you guys know more about Google Docs, so you can actually tell it to go to format and then do double spacing, and you can tell it to choose which font and which font size, of course. Usually I do Times New Roman and 12-point font, and you can also tell it to make a header with your last name and insert the page numbers as well. So that's it for the demo, and I hope you guys really liked it. After you are done typing up this essay, wait 2 minutes, and then come back and make some edits. Now, of course, this is just a very short change. For example, we could say like 10 edits so that it can seem more real. Now, this is the left side of the fork. For example, here, this is like, oh, I can easily use ChatGPT to write my essay, but I can't copy and paste it. Like, I have to type it myself, or else she's going to think that I ChatGPT'd it. Now, the thing is, for that approach, all you would do is you would just give whatever ChatGPT has given you, and this will type it for you so that you don't have to type it. And you could go do something else during this time. Or you could also have it write the entire essay for you. Now, for that, you would just remove all of this and just say, write my essay for me. And that's all it is. So this is actually really simple, and to be honest, it's very useful. Now, what's really important, since we're on the case of writing essays with this AI agent, is that we make sure we're putting in enough time in between all of the sentences, and after everything is written, we're also making sure that we're going back and making some edits. Maybe you could do 2 sessions, 1 session to write the essay and make sure that we put a couple seconds between each sentence, and sometimes we randomly pause for a little bit to really simulate as if we're actually writing this essay, as if I'm actually typing this like on the spot. And then you could have another session where you prompt it to just go to your link right over here and then simply make a couple edits and revise. Now, as for citations, as long as you supply your citations, then you're good to go. I would say in-text is best because it's really good at paraphrasing, it's AI. And what's also really good is if you are a little more of a programmer, then it would be really great if you could simply use Ollama over here instead of OpenAI. And then before you use your Ollama, make sure that you're training it a little bit based on your past essays. Or even here, you could give it the link to your past essays. So for example, I could give it 3 more links on my essay 1, 2, and 3, and then for my final essay, I wanted to read those essays from before, study a little bit of it, and see how I write my essays, what type of wording I use, and simply spit out another essay in my final essay document. Now what's amazing about this is that this is a browser agent. The entire point of using this browser agent for this use case is that it can type for me. Now I'm going to get over to a demo where I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now this is what the code looks like, and thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. If you like these types of automations, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you can see more of this. Definitely more videos are coming for this. And by the way, everything that I mentioned in this video is going to be on my Notion site. The link to the GitHub and the guide on how to download this and set it up for your own use is in the description. And just so you guys know, you can use this agent for anything you want to do. It can do anything on your browser, even shop for groceries for you, so long as your credit card is safe. So this can do anything for you. Just keep that in mind, guys. So be very creative. Use this for whatever you'd like. Bye.